So this movie, Descendants, starts with a couple, Sean and his wife Andrea, who are in Los Angeles. Andrea is expecting, and both of them are very excited for their baby. They are excited, and they should be, but poor Sean is facing a big problem. What happens is that there is a shortage of money. Even if nothing else, he works as a security guard in the school. He works as a samba, but the salary is so low that he cannot secure the future of his family. If he is unable to do so, he hopes that the principal will send him to a private security company. Recommend me. When one starts getting a good salary, he feels that if he gets this chance, then everything will become better. Now the scene shifts inside the hospital. Sean's wife comes in for an ultrasound. The doctor tells her that she has some complications in this phase, but he also tells Sean that at this time he only needs care and emotional support. From here it becomes clear how seriously Sean takes his seminar. His biggest concern is to create a secure life for his child. His wife also works, but Sean wants to be so successful one day that his wife doesn't have to work. Despite so many struggles and despite their overthinking, their relationship is quite strong. Both are very happy with each other and are trying to balance their lives. Sean does his work honestly. He behaves well with everyone and follows his routine life. But one night, everything changes. Siobhan is exercising at night when street life flickers by. He looks up and sees a strange light in the sky, which appears to be moving unnaturally, as if some invisible force is controlling him. The light continues to hover in the air for a few seconds, and then suddenly disappears. This movement confuses and disturbs Sean, who feels something strange is about to happen. Now the tone of the story becomes a little mysterious from here. The scene shifts to the next day's party scene. N and his wife go home with their friend. This boy is his old friend, almost like a brother. Sean's mother died at his birth, and when he was only 7 years old. When his father took his own life, Shohan was taken care of by his friends. His mother had kept him as if he was a family member. That woman's name is Robin. That is the name of Sean's friend's mother. She is a caring but sharp-tongued woman who listens to everyone. I am very interested to know. Now, during the party, she asks Sean about his financial situation. She even offers him some help, but Sean refuses to accept it. Robin says her father was also brilliant, but always struggling with money. And this problem probably runs in his family. A little while later, Sean's friend takes him to the basement to talk about something personal. Now he jokingly asks him, "Are you sure about your wife? Do you think you're ready somewhere? So that you don't have to regret it." Sean tells him that friend, "Now come back in 7 months. It's not possible to turn back, right?" After that, Sean's friend shares an old memory. On a high school camping trip, a deer gets stuck in a fence when everyone runs away. "Let's go to Sean Deary and work him out and set him free." His friend tells him that you have a magic touch. You must be a good father. Shingun says, "I wish I still had that confidence back then." Shingun was in the basement. Seeing some guns, Sean's friend tells him that these guns belong to his wife's father. It was his father's. Sean jokes that he should get a gun too. Sean's friend refuses and says the baby is on the way. You don't need any more protection. You'll be your own protection for your family. See, now that night when they're going home, Sean receives a message from his boss that there's a problem with the school's security system. He drops his wife home and sends a message that he will be late, so don't wait for him. Now the scene shifts to the school rooftop, where Sean flashes the system and watches. He thinks the rooftop light is blinking, he climbs up to check, and suddenly, a blinding light shines in the sky. It feels as if the light is covering him. As she pulls away, everything goes dark, and strange scenes flash through her mind. It appears to have a web-like structure with some tubes connected to its head, and his father's lifeless body was taken to the hospital shortly after. Opens on a bet of he has a bandage on his head and his wife is sitting next to him. She explains that he fell from the school's rooftop, but was saved by a miracle. The doctor also says that his survival is no less than a miracle. Now he is asked to rest for a few days. Some days pass, and now Shun finally comes home. His wife scolds him, saying, "You have put your life at stake for a bulb." She says that I and our baby need you to be safe. Shingun promises he'll be more careful, But as he recovers, he begins to feel something new. It's as if a new ability has been activated within him. Earlier, he was very weak in the trials, but now the details are in his hands. Sketch and paint things out. As if some hidden terror had been unleashed within him, another thing began. Hallucinations means that he starts seeing things that have no connection with reality. One morning when his wife leaves the house, he sees an invisible force. She is pulling him into the darkness, and then, in a second, everything becomes normal. It's like it was just a hand. Then we see Shangun inside the hospital the next day. He is sitting in the waiting area when he sees his wife on the screen. When the voice of someone who is screaming in his heart comes, he gets up in panic and runs out. Outside, he sees a man with his own appearance sitting on a screw, exactly the same reflection of him, but tired, sick, and confused. Now from here, the story starts to become more disturbing. Sean's connection to reality slowly begins to break down. His senses become abnormal. He can hear even distant sounds, and is always hearing something or the other. He keeps sketching as if his hands are moving on their own. The doctors also do tests on him, but nothing. I don't get normal. Everything seems normal, but deep down, Sean knows something is wrong. He feels as if he is trapped in some other place and trying to get myself back. The incident that happened on the school rooftop no longer seems like a normal fall. He suspects that perhaps he had become part of another world or some alien force. The story now takes a dark turn here, adding confusion with each scene. Is this surreality or an illusion in Shun's mind? Nothing is revealed. The scene shifts to Sean inside the doctor's office with his sketches. He comes and shows the doctor that every drawing is strange, with its shapes and figures. It feels like a different world. Sean tells the doctor that he often has strange visions. Moreover, his hearing ability has also improved. That is, hearing sense doctor is able to do all this. He cannot give any scientific reason for this, but he encourages Sean to draw. Keep going. The doctor says that maybe his mind is trying to communicate something. He also suggests that Sean see a psychiatrist. Also meet him so that his mental state can be understood. At present, he cannot prescribe any medicine. The scene shifts to Sean's house. Now he is trying to live his normal life, but hallucinations do not let him sleep. At night, he hears some noises from inside the house. He picks up a knife from the kitchen and slowly walks towards the drawing room. There he finds a dog, which somehow had come inside the house. Sean takes her to his friend's house to keep her safe. A little while later, Sohan goes to the market to buy paint for baby's room. He also buys some art supplies. When he returns, Robin jokingly tells him that he has become an artist. But this is no joke for Shangun because now his eyes have become so sharp that he can hear people talking from a distance. One day while cleaning the rent, he finds old photographs of his father. He keeps looking at them and gets emotional from within. Memories of his childhood come flooding back to him. Then one day we see Sean painting the wall of his baby's room. But as he paints, he creates a different structure, like a hypsonic pattern. When his wife comes into the room, he is sleeping on the floor and is about to wake up. But he also gets into the hobby because he doesn't remember when he made it. Their baby was just a few days away from arriving. But Sean's mind now feels heavier and more unstable. Sometimes his senses reach extreme levels, and sometimes they become completely dull. One night, both of them are going to a party. There, Sean begins to see even more disturbing things. He sees a man staring at him from a distance, and when he looks closely, she feels as if that man is none other than another version of her. He stands there thinking. When he opens his eyes, another version of him who Sean is quite surprised when she looks completely uneager. The next moment, everyone appears normal, but Sean's mind is shaken. After some time, his wife sees him lying on the side of the road, sitting there with blood coming out of his nose. He does not understand how all this happened. And that very night, Siobhan, in his sleep, he sits down and sees that he has a small injury on his hand. He keeps scratching it until it starts bleeding. After that, he finds his face very strange even in the mirror. Now Sean is near a complete breakdown, torn between reality and illusion. He tells his wife that I was supposed to be your protector, but I feel like I'm a burden to you. I feel like someone is stopping me. His wife tells him that all this is because of you. This is the effect of the mind. And stay away from such negative thoughts. We then see Sean go to his friend's house and ask him for a gun. His friend refuses to give him the gun, saying it's a bad idea, but Sean doesn't agree. He feels that something is coming against them, and he has to protect his family. Then one day, when he was pasting posters near the building, when it happens, he hears the sound of a baby crying from inside. It happens that he has a syndrome, a rare condition that can cause a person to die after a head injury. Extraordinary tales become interactive inside. The doctor explains that serotonin is sometimes low after brain injury, creates new connections that unlock hidden abilities. It is unusual, but it is not surprising, nor is it dangerous. But deep inside, Sean is thinking something else. He believes this is all the result of alien interference. As time passes, his guilt grows with it. He feels that he is not being a good support to his wife. He is getting it, and due to this guilt, he also buys bullets. The next day, his brother finds the gun and gets angry at him. She says that our baby is about to come and you have kept guns in the house. You know that it is not safe to keep a gun at home. But instead of listening to him, Sean picks up guns and hides him in his car. The scene then shifts to the next school day. His boss tells him that the school, it was open all night, and some strange writing was found on the wall. The boss tells him that he is sorry, and now I haven't thought about promotion, but his crunch jokes he can keep Sean's drawings. Tall alien figures and empty-eyed creatures become more disturbing as time goes on. And strange landscapes like a desert world, and sketches like a coded map. He wants to go back to some place where his wife is. She sees everything and cries and asks, what do these images say? She wonders what they mean, but Sean has no answer. In fact, he himself does not understand what all this is signifying. So what does all this mean? The scene shifts to a few days later when Sean goes to Robin's house to look for answers. She thinks Robin might know something about her father. He asks her what Astor is, as the name keeps coming to his mind. Robin tells him that Esther is actually the town where Sean's father lived. Was her childhood home, but as Robin says this, Sean notices a strange transformation in her face. He feels like Robin's face has become alien-like. He panics and starts shouting that you people are not human beings. To convince her of his words, he picks up a knife and he runs it on his hand so that he can test whether all this is real. Now, as soon as blood comes out of his hand, he gets shocked because the pain is real. Robin tries to bandage him, but he becomes even more disturbed. Now we see the middle scene. Shahan walks with the cube in his hand. His only thought in the scene is that perhaps it's better to end everything. But when he's standing on the beach, he can't pull the trigger. He throws the gun away and comes back. When he reaches home, he is surprised to see that Robin and his friend's wife is with his wife, Sean's wife. Sean's wife is like Pihosh, Sean's friend's wife. That is, Robin's daughter-in-law shouts at Sean. She says that because of him, his wife went through so much stress. She's gone, and Sean's wife refuses to let him meet her. After this moment, Sean's heart breaks. He stops at his friend's house and stays there for a few days. But his mind still doesn't rest. He's drawing all the time, filling pages upon pages with strange designs and strange shapes. He remembers that the doctor said the twine might be part of his mind's healing process. This time he goes to the doctor again with his sketches. The doctor looks at the drinks, but he says that these are so complex that it is difficult to understand their meaning. Sean becomes irritated, feeling like everyone is ignoring him instead of understanding him. Then one day, while he's at the doctor's office, his nose starts bleeding. After that moment, everything becomes blurred and different. The next moment, he's in another room in the hospital. There's a woman in labor, and she dies shortly after. When Sean sees her face, he realizes it's his wife, and he exclaims. He cries a lot, but then his eyes open in a second. She goes and realizes that it was all just a dream. He immediately goes home and checks on his wife right away. His wife recovers, but he begins to have hallucinations again. He feels that Robin and his daughter-in-law, i.e. his friend, have come as aliens and are troubling his wife. But after a few seconds, everything becomes normal. Sean finds some new paintings in Baby's room that aren't his creations. The paintings depict a scene from a town called Esther. He gets excited because it was the same name that kept coming to his mind again and again. He feels that perhaps this place is connected to him in some way. He takes the car and heads straight for Ulster, and when he gets there, he sees the same landscapes everywhere that he had created in his drawings. Seeing him, it feels like childhood memories have come back to him. A little further on, he sees his old house. There is a man sitting outside the house, his own father. Seeing this, Sean's feet freeze, meaning he freezes. He knew that his father had died years ago, but still he is able to see them in front of him. He goes and sits near them. His father smiles and says, "You'll be a good father. You will do everything that I could not do, Sean." Hearing these words brings tears to Sean's eyes. He says, "Your son loves you very much." When Sean gets up to leave, suddenly the sound of a constrictor is heard. At that moment, the same blinding light begins to shine again. He feels like he's returning to his real world again. The scene now shifts back to the school's rooftop, the same place where everything began. The dog starts feeling dizzy and sits down right there. Then an unknown man comes to him and says that you are very brave. Not many people can come back so quickly. The man pulls out a notebook with lots of names and coordinates written in it. There is a place mentioned with every name. That man says that re-entry is not easy. They've worked their way into your brain. But you have come back. This is a very unusual thing. I can't find out who that man is. Now the man drops her home without saying anything else, and Sean doesn't ask her any questions. He just wants to come back home and see his wife and be with her. When he comes home, his lovely wife is sleeping on the bed. He goes and lies down beside her, and for the first time, there's a relaxed smile on his face. It seems as if everything is over, but at the last moment, a trust comes. The bedroom walls of the house are full of drawings, the same strange symbols, the landscapes and alien figures that Sean had previously created. Seeing this, a question arises. If all this was a dream, then how did these drawings get there? This question remains a mystery, the answer to which even Sean himself may never be able to understand. But the movie ends with Kif lying down with his wife,